Hello, hello. Happy Hump Day Wednesday. Renee Cage Watson with your mid-week edition of Powerful and Mindful Living with Coach Renee. I am doing and moving, so forgive me if I'm not looking at the camera because I got to keep my eyes on the road. So, how you guys doing on this, what is today? The 21st of July. Can't believe it. We are more than halfway through this year, and I got a question for you. Have you been procrastinating on something? What did you say at the beginning of the year? You know, when we do these New Year's resolutions, or maybe you did it at your birthday, or all these different times that we sometimes make recommitments. Maybe you just made a commitment last week. So I want to know, how has that been going for you? Are you following through and keeping your word to yourself? Keeping your word to yourself. Having integrity with yourself, not just even with other people, but with yourself. Um, and that's what I'm going to be talking to you about just a little bit. Sorry if I'm feeling a little distracted. There's a lot going on around me. But yeah, it's really about keeping the integrity with yourself. But procrastination, listen, procrastination, it is and it's not your fault. All right. Like procrastination, what it is like you're like delaying, you're putting off something, right? There's this emotional response that's going on for you that has you, I would say, self-sabotaging in a sense. Um, Second guessing yourself, just filled with worry. Sometimes we procrastinate, and there's different type of procrastinators, like I talk about. Previously, I did a training, I think maybe back it was in December or so, and I highlighted the 6 different types or styles of procrastination, or the procrastination style. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to do with um, you wanting it to have a perfect outcome. Like for me, I'm the perfectionist procrastinator. At in at one point, sometimes I have been the imposter syndrome procrastinator, right? Um, but sometimes it's the procrastinator where you, as the defier, or you just resentful and you don't want to do it just because you don't think the work is, whatever it is, you don't think it's below you, beneath you, you just don't want to do it, right? So you procrastinate on stuff, or or you or you act out in ways like I'll show them type of procrastination. So I have also been, like I said, I've been all 6 before. So another procrastinator is the one that is the overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed. My heat up too hot. You piling so much stuff on your plate, or you don't know how to say no to people. So you lack boundaries, or showing being able to say no. You don't want to disappoint people. People, don't want you to think that you're not a team player, or not being helpful. So you just don't say no. So then you have all this shit you got going on, and then you're like, oh, I got too much to do. I can't do it all. Yeah, that happens. So that's the overwhelmer procrastinator. You set yourself up to then you kind of like, then, oh, I can't get to work out because I have all of these other things, or I can't, whatever it is, I can't start studying for this test, or you know because I want to get a certification, or blah blah blah, but I have all this other stuff I have to do. So you procrastinate because you, in your mind, are saying you got too much other stuff to do. You're really not putting yourself first. Another procrastinator is the shiny ball. It's just like moving around. Like you start things, that would be me sometimes as well. Start things and then you don't follow through on it. Or it's exciting in the beginning, but the follow through is what you lack, right? So all of these have an element of an emotion or a mindset that you're having about the task, about your abilities, about judgment from others, about the worry or feelings of failing or not turning out the way you wanted to turn out. And the first step in really kind of getting over it is to really take in anything when you're working towards it is to get clear, make an assessment, see when you procrastinate, like what precedes the procrastination, then what are the things that are you doing to procrastinate. Like sometimes people will start calling a whole bunch of people to talk on the phone. Sure, they're catching up with friends and blah 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 blah, but then they have procrastinated on something and now they got a missed deadline, so then they have this cycle of worry and then they're like, oh, forget it, I'm just not going to do it. And it's just, this turns into this whole cycle of not doing something, then feeling bad about it, and then kind of just doubling down and going into this whole cycle, start stop. So you have to do an assessment. You got to see what you're feeling. Like, track it. You have to track, like, what, and sometimes you got to get quiet with yourself. What's coming up for you? Ask yourself. Get curious. Don't judge, but get curious. Like, why when this comes up, I start feeling this way? Or what is it? What am I feeling? Right? Then then you also want to look at, okay, then what are the things I'm doing? Are you scrolling on, like I said, are you scrolling on the internet doing like mindless things, right? Um, doing other busy work, right? So you keeping yourself busy. So you're giving the guys that you're doing stuff, but you're not making progress. Or then, I'll just say not or, then you have to really come to grips with what's the impact. What do you get when you procrastinate? What's the present for you? What are you gaining when you procrastinate? And more importantly, what are you losing? What are you losing when you procrastinate? What what's not happening, you know? And that could be uncomfortable to ask yourself, but it starts with you asking yourself that, you know. I I have a mini course that takes you through those stages. It's actually a formula, right? And you have to get an awareness, and then it's a rewiring of your brain. It's a rewiring of your brain, and then you have to realign your actions with what's important to you, and then you get the reward. So you have to, you know, make an assessment. You have to make an assessment. Then there's the rewiring, the re the realigning, and then you get the reward. And you have to revisit it. You gotta kind of, it's a muscle. You gotta keep practicing, and it's doable, but you have to get an understanding that everything starts with how you're thinking about yourself, how you're thinking about your ability. And And sometimes you have to connect yourself with really what the future, that future result is. Sometimes we can could trick ourselves in the brain. It just seems too far. The outcome or the result seems just so far in the future that we can't make a connection to it. And so we give up. So sit with it. It's like visualization, doing the exercise of visualization. What does it feel like? Who's there? You know, who's around? How does it feel for you? Because at the end of the day, there's no one else to blame if something doesn't get done except for yourself. You can't blame, oh, I had too much to do, or you can't blame, I had this, or it's this person's fault, or just if I had some more time. You're not going to get more than 24 hours in a day. You ain't going to get it. So you have to create the life you want with the time you have. And that starts with getting over with that procrastination if that has been holding you back and sabotaging your ultimate fulfillment. So, you know, it the procrastination is all in your mind. It's a self-sabotaging. It's all in your mind because you can't get the time back. It's like a resource, right? Money, time, how you spend it has impact. So, procrastinating, if you're ready to get rid of your procrastination, I got something for you. I'll drop it at the end of the live, the link to the course. And if you just kind of want to just work on like some real core, just time management, strategies, I got something for you for that as well. But procrastination is real in the field, and you got to get over it. Got to get over it so you can do all of those wonderful, fantastic things in the world. All right, you guys. I will see you next Wednesday? Next Monday. Next Monday. Ooh, the sun is blinding. Have a good one. Bye.